everybody? Welcome back to Chat with Gunner, episode 32. You know what? If you're listening to this one right now, you're probably upset with me because I still haven't uploaded the last two episodes to Spotify or Apple Podcasts yet. But if you are one of the listeners who go to YouTube, you've already listened to them, seen them. Pretty cool conversations with Jake Kelfer last week. That guy was fun. You would have liked him, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was all fired up. He's young guy. He was 26, 27. Already written 2 books.
Okay.
He's traveling around, motivational speaker, life coach. Got a website, like a coaching seminar class, and he created the Pro Basketball Combine to like get people signed to like the in between the G League.
Yeah.
So that's what he's doing.
Dude, that's badass.
Yeah, you'd have liked that conversation.
That's cool. I don't usually take people that are life coaches seriously.
Yeah, you wouldn't,
No,
right?
no.
Me and Ethan talked about that as soon as it was over. It was like, most people you run across that say they're a life coach, they're a fan of Tony Robbins, they're a fan of Eric Thomas.
And they've never fucking done anything in their life.
They listened to one Jim Rohn video on YouTube, and they're like, well, you know what? I think I can be a motivational speaker.
Your fucking impression of Jim Rohn. Why do we have the seasons? To see what we'll do with them.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, and I like Jim Rohn, but like not everybody's Jim Rohn.
Nope. Hey, I was listening to Jim Rohn before any other motherfucker in our generation was.
Right?
Yeah. So
I dig him, but a lot of people are like life coach scam artists, and they read a book and they literally just tell you exactly what everybody else tells you, except they haven't done any of it.
You know my theory on why people are life coaches or motivational, this and that, because they actually are trying to convince themselves of those things, and it's their outlet because they actually don't have any other skills to put what they've been reading or want to do to anything else.
Yeah, it's like you got to have goals. My problem is I have never had any goals, and now I want to be a life coach. You know,
can do it. Yeah, it's just people telling themselves positive things when in reality it's like you're never really gonna do anything you say.
Yeah. So, but this guy was good.
Good. Good for him.
A lot of positive energy. He sounded like he knew what he was talking about, and I thought the combine thing was great because he was like, I grew up watching.
What's his name?
Jake Kelfer. So he said that he grew up watching Jerry Maguire and wanted to be a sports agent. So he went to USC. Graduated.
How do you spell his last name?
Kelfer. First job out of college, he's working for the Lakers as an intern during Kobe Bryant's last season.
Okay, couldn't find him.
That's all right. We'll get you in contact.
Yeah.
So then after that, he was like, you know what? Learned all that Mamba mentality. Not that I was friends with Kobe or anything, but like he inspired me through his last season. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it right now. Why should I wait till I'm 40 to do all the things I want to do? I'm just going to do it right now. And he just made a network and created it.
It's fucking
awesome.
And
he's got 70 guys in the G League and a few in the NBA.
Wow.
So
good for him.
Now he wanted to be a sports agent. Check that. Now he has every sports agent coming to his combine with their clients. So that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's cool how he's I'd like to know more. I'm just going to have to listen to your podcast. But it sounds like he's like backdoored how the industry's done things.
Yeah.
And just done it himself.
Yeah, he found
which is fucking awesome.
Small niche, which was that, there's 2 roster slots available to people that put them in the in-between. They're not in the G League, but they're not on the NBA team. They're like in reserve. And those guys get paid more money to be in those 2 spots than you would to be in the G League, like significantly more. It's kind of like like the IR or whatever.
Yeah.
So literally his combine is to get you on that. So you're getting paid a certain amount of money to not even play.
It's a good gig.
But you're like in waiting to possibly get a spot for the next year.
That's cool.
Yeah, and he's taking the smaller school guys, the 6th, 7th man.
Dude, I loved when I going from high school to UTC and then getting to pretty much be on the summer league practice and watching all those dudes get ready for fucking overseas.
Right.
Goffney was the only dude. He was the only guy that got an NBA tryout. Maybe Dokes did too, but I just remember Goffney got to try out for like the Boston Celtics and shit.
Yeah.
And this was before like the G League was legit or anything. I think it was the D League. But to think all these guys fell through the cracks, didn't have opportunities, didn't have the right tools or people, and it sounds like this guy's fucking doing all of that now.
Yeah,
So that's pretty cool.
I wish they had had that for those guys at UTC then. That'd been really
Dude, that
cool.
team was good. That 08 team was fucking good.
Yeah.
I'll never forget making shit. What was his name? Not Waddell. Why can't I think of this?
See, I came in 09.
Yeah,
so.
he was a big motherfucker. Either way, we had this certain drill that we used to do with Bridgewaters. Why can't I fucking think of his name? Either way, I just remember making this guy fall, and it wasn't anything special, but he fell, and I earned some respect that day. And
White boy made him
yeah,
fall.
but then I just got murdered by everybody else. So, you know.
Well, even at UTC, the guys walking around, it was like the Monstars. They're all, it's like who are these random 7 foot tall guys just walking around campus? And, you know, they were all cool though. They all came to our parties.
Yeah,
you know, they're cool
good guys. I mean, because I grew up playing in like summer leagues and stuff with Dante Hampton. I don't know if you know
Dante.
Dude, he's a sharp.
Dante was
guy.
at Lipsy with me.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. He's a sharp guy, man. I know. What's it called? I think he's doing something called YB Normal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, yep.
You should bring him on your podcast.
I don't even want to talk about it. Dante, he knows.
He knows.
He knows. Yeah.
He knows. All right.
Yeah.
You heard it. You heard it, Dante.
Yeah. He's had several invites.
Okay.
Yeah. He's always that guy. Yeah, man, I'll be there. He's that guy.
Either way, he's a good guy.
He is a good guy.
Good guy.
He's just that guy that's he's going to be there, but he's never been here.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Dude, so we were talking. This was going to be like a solo cast. I was going to go up here and do a little quick 20-minute
Dude, you
podcast.
just caught me. You just caught me here. You know.
And I was like, "Hey, Chris, you want to talk about exactly what we're talking about right now on air because that sounds cool, and I have no clue what we're talking about."
Sure.
So there's been some explosions across the country. In case you didn't know.
Not our country.
Not
yet.
Yeah, I guess so. There's been some explosions across the world, I guess is a better way to say it.
It's I mean, shit. We were on this podcast in what, March, April, something like that.
Yeah, and if you haven't listened to those episodes, please go back and listen. There was 2 or 3.
I think it was like 16 or something like that. Podcast number 16.
I'm saying, but there was 4 weeks in a row we did it, right?
Something
it was
like that,
the first 4 weeks of quarantine, of lockdown. We did conspiracy podcasts. So you're looking at late February, early March. Go back and check those out because everything we were talking about, you, my friend, were right.
A lot of it's come true, and a lot of it we're still waiting in the wings.
We're a little late on the predictions.
Yeah, we were a little early.
Or a little early is what I meant. Yeah,
Yep.
a little early in the predictions,
Yep.
but they're starting to kind of happen now.
Stuff's getting weird out there. Stuff's getting weirder. I mean, we're seeing all this exposure with pedophilia. And let's just bring that up real quick. How the fuck is it that it's talked about on paper that Bill Clinton is a fucking pedophile and no one's talking about it? It's in the goddamn papers. And it's just like, yeah, we'll just brush this under the rug.
Could you imagine if it was Trump that was a pedophile?
The world would be burning. You know?
Yeah, that's the one thing that drives me crazy, and I don't care what your political stance is, or if you like Trump, don't like Trump, whatever. But like, put it all on the same level playing field. You can't just have Clinton over here doing one thing, getting away with it, or any Democrat for the most part, and then Trump says one bad thing on Twitter and he's a bad guy.
What's bad is like in the same papers as the girl talking about Bill Clinton in 2016. In FBI papers from 2016, Trump is in it as, he was there, but he never talked to any of the girls other than me, and I only talked to him because he happened to be in the kitchen eating snacks with me, just being a cool guy. And he would come over, talk with everybody, then immediately leave and never stay around.
To that point, this goes back to me always vetting, always looking at whatever side of the fucking coin. Both sides, if there is, whatever. And again, my conclusions on Donald Trump are he is either all in on all of this, and he's just being used as the greatest political distraction of all time, or he is absolutely not, and he and whoever else he's in cahoots with are literally trying to assert the fucking power structures that have ruled the world for a while. It's one or the other. It's nothing in between.
Yeah.
And we're probably going to find out sooner than later.
Well, you always said, even before we had a podcast or before this thing was even a show or before the 60-Minute Broadway, I remember the first time we came here, you were talking about, you said, if Trump gets elected in the second term, he's going to pull back the curtain.
He's going to expose everything.
And
I think it's I I think that's the route we're headed for. But before that happens, probably some bad shit's going to happen first.
Well, it's September. We were talking about this in February and March.
Yep.
It is. So it's August. It's
August.
almost September.
Yep.
So it's voting season.
And I think stuff.
3 months out.
Stuff's about to get a little tricky here. I mean, in the words of some people that I've listened to, and not in a conspiratorial manner, but more so just let's look at things for brass tacks. It was 2020 hit. It's an election year. Democrats are a fucking hot mess full of shit. No one to run. We've already seen that with Joe Biden. It's a nightmare. COVID hits. Black Lives Matter hits. I don't give a fuck what you think about it. It's still a distraction. It's still politicized.
Yep.
Economy, the list goes on. And now we're in this weird, I don't know what you think, Ethan or Gunner, but we're in this weird, like, calm. It's been kind of normal mid-July to now.
Yeah.
All of July.
It's slowly evening out.
Yes, and I think it's the calm before something fucking nasty.
It's a new calm, though, because you got to wear a mask. Yeah,
right.
You got New York, so both sides of the states. You got New York and you got L.A. now coming out with stipulations saying in New York they're going to have
checkpoints and shit, yeah.
And $10,000 fines.
Yeah, people aren't going to
for not having a mask.
Here's the thing: everything that I've told people for the last fucking year is the world is going to expose itself for what it is. And guess what's happening? Whether people want to admit this or not, some people are going to end up on the wrong side of history, and they're going to be, and I hope it happens, they're going to be shamed for their thought processes, what they believed, what they stand for. And I'm sorry, but if you look at just how the world has played out in this country for the last 9 fucking months, Democratic ran, left-leaning fucking states and ideologies are absolutely losing the middle in this country because they've fucking gone off the cliff.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but there is such a thing as logic and reason, and there's a lot of things that have lost it.
California, what DeSantis, is that the guy? Is that who's DeSantis? Where's he at? Is it Newsom? Newsom
is
Gavin
California.
Newsom. Yeah, he's
Is he the one?
The fuck does my head itch so bad?
Is he the one that came out and said that in L.A. if you have more than X amount of people in a house at a gathering,
they're gonna
turning
shut
off
the
your water and power?
Yep.
Excuse me?
Welcome to the giving up your freedoms for safety, motherfuckers. Welcome to what that looks like.
The California state government was looking to repeal civil rights law.
And now you got Tesla moving to
crazy.
Texas.
Yep.
You got Joe Rogan taking his podcast, moving to Texas.
Yep. Here's what people aren't talking about, because again, if you just listen to the news and you just take things for face value, you can think that the world really is just what it is. And this is what should bother people. Because if the world really is just what it is at brass tacks, then you immediately need to start questioning everything in general. Because if it is, then let's just take hunger, for example. You've got billions upon billions of dollars being aided for vaccines and medicines, but it only takes $10 billion to solve world fucking hunger. $10 billion. How many motherfuckers out there, Ethan, have $10 billion? Couple thousand?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that gets solved real quick, which should tell people if the world is what it is at face value, then we're all being lied to about a lot of shit, which then brings you to a conclusion. The world isn't what we think it is, it isn't what we've been told it is, so what is it? And now we've got a lot to unfold with that, which is why I encourage people, go down a fucking rabbit hole and figure out what the fuck's actually going on.
I've never thought of it that way. If you look at the money, that's a great point.
Yeah, I mean,
you could fix world hunger
with $10 billion. That is a fact.
There are 2,095 billionaires in the world, and their estimated net worth of all of them, $8 trillion.
$8 trillion. So you could solve world hunger millions of times over.
Yeah.
So that should tell people something about the world isn't. I tell people this all the time. The world is not what you think it is. So what is it? And you need to go figure that out for yourself. And if the world becomes to you whatever your biases are, most people just don't want to know, because it will fuck with their psychology and it will fuck with their beliefs, and people can't function. I bring certain things up that are literally right in people's faces. and it's almost just like, nope, can't handle it. Put my blinders on.
Yep.
People are fucking weak, man. That's one thing I'm learning, and especially in this country. And there's two pieces of me that are like, okay, I've never worked harder. I'm finding success in a very, very odd time in the world.
You do a pretty good job.
I do pretty good. I've never been more, I don't know, balanced, focused, just whatever.
We were talking about that.
Yeah, like life is good. I'm not striving for anything. I'm just doing. And then at the same time, it's like I really kind of want to see the world go to shit because once again, it's going to expose who people really are. And people are going to find out they're weak, they're losers, they got no resolve, they have no idea who the fuck they are. And at the end of the day, most people are just fucking scared of existing.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe that. 98% of fucking people fucking suck. And that's also why I genuinely get why whoever these fucks are running the world have no regard for human life.
Yeah.
Because in worthless eaters, most people are just fucking taking up space and oxygen, and they don't give a shit about the wind and the rain and the seasons, and they don't enjoy a fucking sunset, and they don't add value. Look at kids these days just thrown to the fucking wolves. I mean, look at this goddamn methadone clinic outside.
Yeah.
I see parents take turns watching their fucking pack of wolves and wild dogs kids so they can go in and get their drugs. That's our world. So, yeah, I kind of want to see it go to shit so people get what they deserve.
Yeah, well, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Make a great movie. They've already made that movie like 100 times.
Yeah.
Now it's just actually playing out.
Yeah. So, there's a little give and take, but I don't even know where the fuck we got on that tangent.
Yeah,
So
there's many more of those. I told Ethan, hey, cut us off 45 minutes. I don't think that's going to happen.
we'll find out.
So the bomb is back where we were talking about.
Yes.
So Ethan brought up a great point. What's these bombs called? You think it is?
So
I'm getting coffee because I know what these are.
go right ahead. My current theory, as like
Hey, will you grab me
conspiracy,
some coffee? Yeah.
as conspiracy as it is, my theory is, one, there was a fire, and there was something that exploded. But the way that it explodes, and the way that it looks, you see a big cloud come away from the explosion, right?
Yeah.
But you don't see a lot of fire. The fire goes straight up. So there's two theories. One, there was something beneath whatever factory, whatever it was in the port, weapons cache, secret bunker, whatever it may be, that explodes. Something within it explodes, something that was dropped into it explodes, whatever it may be. And since it's a tunnel, it's like a gun. It just shoots right up. There's a big concussive force. If you've ever seen like a 50 caliber rifle go off, there's still a burst coming out of the barrel, but it's a straight shot, no fire coming off the sides or anything like that.
Yeah.
Or
Here we go.
and I think
like
you
the
really
latter.
like this one.
Yeah, go with this one. I like this one.
There's confirmed scientists and reports and documents, whatever it may be, of what's either called the Odin Project or the Thor Project.
All right.
And these are...
First of all, love those names. Keep
yes,
going.
of course.
These are energy weapons.
They're not.
No?
These are actually, scientifically, super basic. They
Is
just...
this the tungsten rod?
Tungsten
Yeah,
rods.
yeah, yeah.
They're also known as like rods from God kind of stuff. And it's literally just tungsten, which is one of the densest metals found on Earth. It's heavy, super hard to get anywhere. But they just take it up into space, drop it down, explodes, causing a shock wave,
Yep.
nuclear proportions, but no fallout, no nuclear waste. No,
This can cause like tsunamis, fucking
yeah,
earthquakes.
earthquakes
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Because again, you're dropping metal into the ground.
Yep.
And there's different iterations of it that have been speculated. That's like taking a rail gun, which is just magnets, propulsion, throwing it basically.
I've heard the theory that they're going to couple this with Project Bluebeam and simulate asteroids.
Yeah, that'd be
Real
bad.
easy.
Simulate asteroids.
Simulate asteroids. So, hey guys, go outside. What's that? That's Project Bluebeam. But you see an asteroid, and it Hits the fucking ocean. Next
So,
thing you know,
Here's an asteroid coming.
coastlines. Yep.
Everybody go inside.
Right,
Wear your mask.
Because it's going to be really hard to actually have asteroids break through the firmament. So that's
Break through the what?
the firmament, the dome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
right.
The terrestrial, or not the terrestrial, the
That's where-
terrarium that we're in.
That's where we go a little bit different
Yeah,
ways.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah.
I'm with
So
you.
I mean, it's tough. I need to send you the diagrams on how all of that works.
So you believe there's a space, but
It's not what we're told space is.
yeah.
Yep. It's a little different.
But we're going up there. There's people taking pictures down here. It's just a little bit.
It's not what we think. It's not what we've been told.
Yeah.
So there's levels. There's levels to this shit.
So you're thinking there's no infinity?
No. I think that we live in a very confined universe. Very much so.
Yeah.
It's big. It's just not as big as we're told. And it would also prove the existence, or not the existence, but it would prove that we were created.
Yeah.
By whom and what's, I don't know. But
That goes back to your simulation theory, or the simulation theory.
right.
Yeah.
For people to actually think personally that we are just some fucking cosmic accident is absolute bullshit. Makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
It's a great way to not be accountable to think critically, personally. Boom, big boom happened, and all of a sudden here's Chris. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I believe more that we are in a fucking simulation than that, like the Matrix type shit.
Yeah. So
This is all big one computer game.
right.
Yep.
I lean more towards that than the Big Bang.
Yeah.
Now, something did all this shit.
Something's doing something.
Yep,
right?
something's up.
Something's doing something, and we're seeing that something a lot more often now than we used to. I think
The world is weird. I don't think the world's ever going to be the same after this year. Ever. Like, it's going to change economically, monetarily, politically, socially. I think, and my hope is for the better, and not in some euphoria fucking
Utopia.
utopian bullshit like hoorah. I think it's going to be more of a pulling the veil back. Oh shit, we're all culpable, kind of complicit, kind of apathetic, responsible for what the world has been, and now we need to make some adjustments.
The book about Donald Trump or about Don Trump. It was titled what? The Last President? Isn't that? Not, or it's Baron Trump's Mysterious
Adventures or whatever. Yeah.
But in that, it's about the last president, which
yep.
is Don Trump.
Yep. Which I also believe. I think Donald Trump is our last president.
So, if he was to pull all this back, and people are like, "Oh wow, so we've been confused the entire time. We've been lied to this entire time, and here's the Wizard of Oz. It's really just this stuff happening
Right.
back here." And now Trump's like, all right, well, there goes the government, and now I'm just going to stay your leader until I die.
I also don't see that happening.
Like what? So what do you see happening?
I mean, this playing out, there's only a couple scenarios personally at this point. This is how I see this going. And it all kind of rides on these two theories. Is Donald Trump's in on all of this, which means shit's about to get really bad. If he is a part of all of this and being used as the greatest distraction, then we are in for a fucking treat, friends. And we're looking at some harder times ahead. Or he is a fucking Dark Knight, and he is doing his damnedest with some people behind the scenes to oppose power structures that have been for a long time. And either that's going to work out, and we're going to get punched in the teeth for a minute, and then some new systems can be put in place, like the NESARA and GESARA Acts, which a lot of people have been talked about over the years as cults, but I don't think they are.
Explain that just a little bit.
So in the 90s, late 80s, 90s, I forgot his fucking name. You can look this up. The NESARA Act, he was a prominent businessman, and I think he turned congressman or Senate something.
Harvey Francis Barnard.
He brought to Congress a solution to everything that pretty much is fucked up about the monetary system, and he brought a solution to it called the NESARA Act.
I think I saw this on your Instagram
Yeah,
story.
and it's pretty brilliant because it opposes centralized banking. It's pretty much decentralizing the monetary system and then enacting, new systems that benefit the populace as a whole and aids like governing bodies. And it's practical fucking money. But they laughed at him, told him to go get the fuck out. What I find interesting is his prelude, or pretty much his intro to this. Throughout it, he calls it draining the swamp, which I also found interesting because that's been Trump's fucking slogan. But I see, if the world does get exposed for what it is, you're going to see the decentralization of the banking cartels. Absolutely. You're probably going to see the monetary system go digital. You're going to see all of these world organizations be usurped because people are going to find out that they're just used for money laundering, warmongering, child and human trafficking. They're all just fronts for some evil, fucked up shit. That would be my hope. You're going to see the system turn on itself, and people that could really be great leaders would hopefully be put in positions of power, unlike just people who are fucking politicians their whole life.
Right.
Or stuff's going to get really bad because none of this is going to work, and the people that are in power are going to stay in power, and we're all going to get fucked, and we're all going to get fucking chipped, and we're all going to have masks worn, we're all going to get fined if we don't do the things, and we're going to become China. That's what I see happening. And whatever people's politics are, which now it's just fucking emotional driven goddamn petty shit.
Correct.
Rather than let's think logically on what's best for people groups in this part of the country that want this and think this. This is what makes America great, because we're not homogenous. We're not Denmark and Sweden. We actually have a massive melting pot of values, and those go from Muslim values to Christian values to people
Right.
who don't give a fuck about anything.
Yeah.
But again, as of right now, the only thing saving the world from being China, personally, is the Constitution and the United States. And personally, the right to bear arms. And hear me out on that. What is one of the biggest reasons a country doesn't come over here and fucking do anything to us? It's not just our military. There's 54 million Americans that know how to use a gun. And out of those 54 million Americans, they make up 300-something million guns. So the only way to coax and ruse that type of population, which whether people, whatever side of the fucking fence you're on, and whether Trump's in on this or not, the silent majority is a real thing.
That's true.
It is so fucking real. I've lived all over this country. I still have friends all over this country. And people with half a brain need to get a grip that the majority of this country, it leans more towards Donald Trump than they do the left.
Oh, yeah.
I genuinely believe that. But how do you get that type of population that believes in freedoms enough to know that there's still wrong in the world, and this country's not perfect, but it allows the freedom for us to recognize that and hopefully do the due diligence to take. Like, think about it. In America, there are certain instances of hate crimes, but it's not illegal to be a racist in your thoughts. You can be racist in this country. Okay, that's how great this country is. Doesn't mean you're right. You're probably a loser and a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But welcome to America. You can be a loser and a piece of shit.
Yep.
Now, if you take that too far, there's consequences for that.
Right.
Now,
if you commit a crime.
Right. Unless you're in a police-driven democratic mafia in a bigger city, then you can get away with it probably.
Right.
But that's police reform, and that's different than being a patriot.
Yeah.
So the only way to coax those people like myself, who is a gun-owning, trained citizen with a firearm, is with energy and food. That's the only way to take this country out, personally. Not economically. We still have people like you and me that if shit goes south and it's just money, we'll figure it out.
Yep.
But if you take away the access to energy and you take away the access to food in a country that most people don't know how to take care of themselves, they don't know how to hunt, they don't know how to fish, they don't know how to grow food, now you got a problem. And that's what bothers me, and that's what people don't think about. most people in this country cannot self-sustain. And so your guns mean shit when you ain't got anything to eat.
Yeah.
And people don't think about that.
It's a good point.
It's a great fucking point.
And where's a lot of our food come from?
Not here.
Yeah.
Not here. And that's one thing people also aren't thinking about when it comes to our current president and wanting to bring a lot of that shit back to this country, because whether he's in on this or not, he's made great points that America needs to get back to being self-fucking-sustaining. There is where nationalism and isolationism goes too far. Look what Germany did, if any of that's actually real or true.
Right.
I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Hey, those who win the wars write the history. So I'm just saying, go look that shit up. Who's to say Hitler was just not trying to oppose the central banking system and do the same goddamn thing that every country should do, like Libya? But don't ask me. I just read.
Right.
Yeah. Don't ask me what Gaddafi was trying to do. He's dead.
Don't read.
Don't read. Just blindly follow. So, yeah, I don't know what's coming, but I have a feeling that this goes back to my point I made earlier. When shit gets bad and people lose everything, they're going to fucking lose it. Because people, who is it? I think it's, what's his name? He's the baddest motherfucker of all of them. Navy SEAL.
Dan Crenshaw.
Nope. He's got all these books out. He's a fucking fighter. God.
Tim Kennedy.
Jocko
Willink.
Jocko.
Yeah.
He said it before. People always revert back to their lowest level of training.
Yes.
And I think that isn't just in the sense of tactical or military. I think that's in life. People always revert back to whether it's a tough situation in work, a relationship, the list goes on, because people don't know how to work on them fucking selves, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, whatever that looks like. So what happens when the world does go to shit? People are going to fight or flight. And I think they're going to curl up in a fucking ball. I mean, if this gives you, this isn't to toot my own horn, but this is where I'm coming from. And then this is where someone who I went to high school with, they made a post on, it was a very long post, and they made some great points. I actually applaud them. It was raw. It was real about, hey, here's some of my fears. Here's what I've been going through. And then it went from something of perspective and retrospect, and this is what I've learned from COVID, to I am a victim of these circumstances. I am a victim of literally there was a comment in there, the government has failed me. And that let me know this is where this person, and then they put their Venmo account on this post. And the whole time I'm thinking, you motherfuckers, I almost lost this business during COVID. I pivoted, started another business during COVID. All I do is work, and that's the fucking difference. I went out and said, how do I do anything in this moment knowing that the world has changed? What can I do rather than who should help me? And that's the difference.
Yeah.
And so what's going to happen if a city does get blown up? What happens when 9/11 2.0 happens? People are going to fucking freak out. And it goes, I posted this on Instagram because I like stirring the pot, because most people don't fucking think for themselves. I have so many people DM me and say, I don't know what side of the fence you're on. I'm not on the fucking fence, you idiot. I'm over there doing what I'm supposed to do while you guys are jerking off. But yeah, what are people going to do when the city gets blown up? Nothing. Gonna freak out and cry.
Back to Jim Rohn.
Yep.
He says it's not about what happens to you. It's about what you do when it happens.
Yep. And most people are going to be standing there looking up at what's going on, and I'm going to be getting to work on what's going to happen when these hungry people no longer have food. I mean, the Joker said it, watch what happens. I don't remember the quote exactly, when these people are left to themselves. They're going to eat each other. Look what happened over toilet paper. Yeah. What are people going to do when they got kids that are hungry? Yeah. Fucking anything, especially in this country. So, I don't think people are ready for it. So,
and they don't think it's going to happen. Like,
my gosh, they
just
don't. They don't.
They just think that we just have food. Like,
I've been saying this for years, that the election would be canceled at some point in our lifetime. An election's going to get canceled because of events that are so large that there's no choice. And Trump mentioned it. Let's delay the election. whether people recognize this or not, he's literally subconsciously preparing people for there not to be a fucking election. I will literally put my name. There's not going to be an election this year. There's not going to be a fucking election.
You don't think so?
No. Joe Biden, they're doing it. Look at the newspapers, the Washington Times. There should not be debates because Joe Biden's lost his goddamn mind. Something's going on there. And I think distraction. Trump, well, I think we need to delay the election. Why? Voter fraud, distraction. So what the fuck's really going on? They're preparing people for there not to be an election. Why? Because there's coming a second shutdown and something else is going to happen. And the second shutdown will be permanent.
You think so?
I think so. I think the second shutdown will be permanent until next year, if not longer. Whatever's going on in the world right now, it's bigger than people think. And I mean, I'm sitting here building shit and it's still working, but I have this gut feeling that that's going to stop at some point in the near future. And it's not going to be about doing anything. There's going to be no credit. There's going to be no money. And people are just going to be sitting there. And what do you got in your cupboards? And that's the difference. I always tell people 90 days. Why? Because what happens in 90 days if the power goes out? What happens in 90 days if the economy's shut down? What happens in 90 days if a city gets blown up? 90 days? You really think people with insulin problems and dialysis and cancer and I mean, this is dark and drab, but what happens to those people? Nursing homes. You really think if a city gets blown up and the world's gone to shit, you see it in TV shows, but 9 out of 10 nurses in that nursing home are going home to their families and they're not taking care of those people in beds.
Yeah.
No one thinks about those things because it can't happen to America.
Right.
Can't happen fucking here, man. So what do you do with 54 million people that own guns? Food and energy. That's the only way.
So you're thinking that's the outside attack. That's the plan. Most likely, look, China. Let's just say China.
Something's going to happen, and then we're going to get kicked while we're down. I don't think anyone's going to actually attack us. I think anything that is coming is an event that isn't war. I think it's a real virus. I mean, I actually think if you look at that Bill and Melinda Gates fucking video, and they said, oh, the second wave will get their attention, and they both fucking grinned like evil fucking characters out of a goddamn cartoon kids movie. Like, go watch that. It's eerie if you haven't seen it. Why are they laughing? Because these people, again, I'm not even going to get into that, but it could be a virus, it could be a fucking earthquake, it could be a fucking asteroid, it could be I don't fucking know, but something, I mean, and then while we're down, someone like Russia or China will just say, fuck these guys, let's do it, here's our chance. They're vulnerable.
Yeah.
Take them out. But people don't think about that shit.
There's a lot to think about.
It is.
And nobody wants to think about worst case scenarios.
No. I tell people all the time, plan for the best, prepare for the worst. Most people do neither.
Yeah.
Neither. I'm over here looking at the world. If it takes a turn and Trump is who I hope he is, because I hope he is good.
Yeah.
Because that's good for everybody.
Right.
Some people would rather him be complicit in all this, because if he's not, it means they're wrong and their whole ideologies have to be fucking reshaped, and people don't want to do that.
Yeah.
People would rather be right. Think about this. I had someone reach out to me on Instagram because I was posting things about child trafficking.
Yeah.
I was talking about child trafficking fucking long before all this shit.
I know you were.
And I started posting things, but it was about the Clintons. And someone says, well, what about Trump? What about Trump? What about Trump? And I said, here's the thing about Trump, because no one thinks about this. People are wanting to be right, but they don't want to do the dirty work to find out what's right and wrong, which means it'll lead them to the truth, which is more important. Truth is, we don't have any documents right now on Donald Trump. When they come out, bring it. Bring me the documents on Donald Trump. And if he's complicit, then fuck him. Fuck him if he's complicit. We don't have anything yet, okay? But we've got someone in Hillary Clinton, probably the most powerful fucking woman in the world, with 600,000 fucking emails and a laptop that will not only incriminate her, but probably every single fucking person involved with her. A RICO case. That's powerful. That's actually something that matters. That could literally change the whole fucking world. You would literally incriminate the Clinton Foundation, the WHO, fucking Facebook. The list goes on.
The entire Democratic Party and all the Hollywood elites.
You name it. You would literally bring down a massive fucking group of people, and the world would change forever. But people would rather, think about this, they would rather Donald Trump be complicit and wrong than have whatever that fucked up evil is go away. You're talking about kids, dude. I got a video. I got fucking pictures that I screenshotted. I didn't save them from anything. I wouldn't put anything because I don't want anything fucked up like that to where it looks like I don't know, like kid porn or something. Fuck that. But I've saved a bunch of these fucking pictures and videos from the dark web that people have exposed of all these documents. And there's a fucking picture of a 40-something-year-old man, Epstein Island. This girl's probably 6 years old, dressed like some supermodel. Dude's dick's out and everything. This shit's fucking real. And people would rather somebody be complicit because of their political biases. Like, I'm almost in tears right now in my fucking heart thinking that's the world we live in. People would rather be right than the fact that 800,000 fucking kids a year go missing in this country.
Yeah.
That's not by accident. That's a quota.
That's not okay.
No, it's fucked up. And so that's where it's like, what's the truth? And if the truth is that Donald Trump's complicit in this, then fuck him too. But until then, he's actually done more to expose this than anyone else in this country.
He's the only one that talks about it.
Exactly. And so that lets me know he's either in on it and they knew this day was coming, so they're going to expose it, and some people are going to take the fall. And then it's going to get brushed under the rug, and they're just going to keep peddling it. Or it's going to get exposed, and all these motherfuckers are going to hang for it. It's one or the other. And we're going to find out which one. And that's the shitty part. It's either going to be really good or really bad. And until then, it's probably going to get really bad. Because if it is a invasive war, a secret war, something that's obviously been behind the shadows, now we're seeing it more and more and more, then something's going to give. Because if these people get exposed, at this point, I have a feeling they're willing to do fucking anything. Which means Hillary Clinton has to testify on September 9th. September is the most important occult month in the cabal. So why wouldn't they do a 9/11 2.0 to distract people? Why wouldn't they do it to cancel that fucking testimony? Because the country's in chaos. I don't doubt that shit. These people are fucking evil.
So September 9th is when
she has to testify.
So your predictive mind tells me that you think something happens before September 9th.
I think something between now and before the election, something's going to give. Most people don't know this, but August 8th is a very big calendar, or a very big date on the occult calendar. August, September, and October are like the fucking months for the occult calendar. September 11th wasn't an accident. Those numbers mean something. So, like, none of this. Right now, everything in the occult has to have a sacrifice. There has to be something spilled for these things to take place. Innocent blood. I didn't write this shit. Aleister Crowley, go look him up, motherfuckers.
Dude, these are crazy things. But,
I know.
But people don't want to hear it. You're a conspiracy theorist, bro.
Cool, man. Cool. You want me to send you a video of some kids that have been fucking tortured? That's not a conspiracy, you
right?
Fucking losers. That's the people literally
Video's fake.
Okay, cool. I got the worst video I've seen is of a 2-year-old boy, and Jabo Yonkins. I can't remember his name. It's weird, but he's Liberty University. Guy's a badass. He's really on top of exposing trafficking in general. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But he talks about how the youngest fucking kid they found and saved and rescued was 2 years old. And that kid was raped by 36 different men. 2 years fucking old. So people don't get a choice in this to be political. Fuck you. They're kids. You don't get to do that.
Right.
Like, nope. Not at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't really know what to tell people. At this point, but rather like, hey, no one gives a shit about your fucking opinion on something that is so goddamn minute. Yep. Trump said xenophobe. Go fuck yourself. That's a made-up word, loser. That's how I feel about it.
So who's the Maxwell girl?
Ghislaine Maxwell?
When's that all take place? That's coming up, right?
She's already had a couple of things exposed. I know they're going to do more. She's probably going to die soon, quote unquote. People need to look up her, and people need to look into Jeffrey Epstein, because I think they both aren't who they say they are.
What do you mean?
I think that they were positioned. I think that they are. I think they're both spies. I don't think Epstein ever trafficked anybody. I think he was put there to honeypot all these fucking people, probably by Israel or by other people. Ghislaine Maxwell's family's too fucking embedded with like powerful people to not to be who she is. And maybe that Maxwell or Epstein, they're either both not who we think they are, or one of them isn't. Epstein dies, which he probably didn't, because we can't really prove it. His name was written wrong on his death certificate, which isn't an accident either.
Right.
And then 2 weeks later, $25 million goes out of his Cayman Islands bank account, and his lawyer dies. Like, there's just too much going on. Like, I don't think Epstein's dead.
You know what's also weird? I was just looking into this, just trying to find a date for a court case or like a hearing for Maxwell. She picks August 10th as her court date. It's the 1-year anniversary of Epstein's death.
Fuck.
That's
Can't make
that's
this
really
shit
weird.
up, dude.
And that's what she picked, by the way.
Yeah.
Like that's what the
So she was
post says.
his assistant?
Handler. She was bigger than him. What's funny is I've got a friend of mine who worked on the Trump campaign. She's rubbed shoulders with some very, very powerful people, and she actually knows one of the models that was a victim of Epstein's whole thing.
Yeah.
And they've said that Epstein wasn't who he said he was. He didn't know shit about hedge fund management. He didn't know fucking nothing, because he rubbed shoulders with all these people, and it's like Hollywood. You know, you're at the party, and it's X person's house, but some other people, peons, invited you to that party, and everyone's rubbing shoulders with everybody, and maybe you get to meet a couple of these people, and it's that kind of situation. And one of these guys that was a hedge fund manager in New York City got to meet Jeffrey Epstein, and he was like, this guy had no fucking clue what he's talking about. Epstein had no fucking clue about what he did. I think he was a spy. I think he was positioned to do all these things, whether good or bad. So, yeah. I also find it fascinating that Ghislaine Maxwell is a helicopter pilot, has her submarine license, you name it, and they have found tunnels between Epstein Island and all the other islands. And guess who owns an island next to Jeffrey Epstein's?
Biden's brother.
Joe Biden. Yeah. Fucking fascinating. And look at Joe Biden. That dude's like openly creepy. That dude's like openly over the line, aggressively handsy in your space, fucking
yeah,
pervert. So, I don't know. This stuff's all gonna get exposed, and the world's gonna get better, and it's gonna hurt for a while because people psychologically are gonna have to take a beat. White female liberals are going to have to hide in a hole for a while. Personally,
they're gonna struggle.
Oh, they're gonna struggle big time. Cognitive dissonance is gonna be tough for a minute, but I mean, people are gonna wake up and realize that fucking our heroes were all complicit and criminals and terrible fucking people. I mean, I think about it. Tom Hanks, all the rumors, and this dude gets Greek citizenship.
The one place you can go.
The one place that pedophiles aren't charged. They are rehabilitated.
Whoa. I didn't even hear about this.
Yeah.
What?
Him and his wife.
Him and his wife just got Greek citizenship. And Greece does not try pedophiles like anybody else in the world.
Is that where the director went? What's his name?
Oh, fuck, I don't know.
It's like in the 90s, I think.
I have no idea.
Okay.
There's a lot of
I'll
directors.
look into it.
There's that, and then you've got Oprah and Oprah. Look at Oprah's connections to the Weinsteins and to fucking John of God. Oprah, Mother Teresa. This is what's going to get fun for me, is all these Christians are going to lose their shit when they find out all these churches are complicit in this.
Yeah.
From the money laundering to the sex trafficking.
The big churches.
Yeah. Oh, and like again, go look up Mother Teresa. She was a brilliant front for all of this shit. Like, nothing's fucking real, dude. I keep telling people that. Nothing you think is real. And then, I don't know if y'all saw Ellen's latest video. It didn't fucking make any sense.
Isn't she canceling, or her director quit, or what happened there?
the narrative is that people have come out that have worked on her show and pretty much said it's a toxic show and a toxic environment, and Ellen isn't who she says she is. But if you look at all of the weird cryptic videos she's sent out over the last 5 months, you also see she's got an ankle bracelet on. Tom Hanks has an ankle bracelet on. Oprah has an ankle bracelet on. I think these people have been put on house arrest through SMART. SMART is a let me look it up. Ellen even says in one of her oh wow. You know, as a adult male, I do follow some very gorgeous women on Instagram. And I was just going to look up, some conspiracy shit. Now I'm distracted.
Back to conspiracy, pal.
The guy I was talking about, Roman Polanski.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to see, because I swear that's where he went, Greece.
I think this is like a tracker or something.
Smart, eh?
Sex offender sentencing, monitoring, and apprehending. Something like that. Smart.gov. Ellen, in one of her fucking weird videos, which people have said it's not where she lives, it looks like, either way, she's like, just, this will all be over if we listen to the smart people. And all the weird, comms between them, fucking David Spade, all of this rides on Hanks. Tom, talk to us. All this weird shit. Tom Hanks taking pictures in Australia, and there's barcodes on his stuff.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
Like a prison.
Yep. And then Tom Hanks gets back to the United States, and the people escorting him are Navy admirals or U.S. Marshals, something like that, if you look at what they're actually wearing. So it's none of this makes sense, but something's awry, and Hollywood is burning.
Yeah, no movies are being made.
Nope. I'm gonna call it, but Ellen's gonna commit suicide. I'm calling it now. She's gonna kill herself.
You think so?
Yep. I think she's gonna kill herself. I think she's probably someone that definitely is in on this and never thought that it would come to this, and now she's getting exposed. And I think that she's probably already made a deal. Deals have been made. I think she's gonna off herself. That's her deal. Suicide.
Think so.
Yep. Some of these people are not going to get deals. If this is real, some of these people aren't going to get deals. Like Hillary Clinton won't get a deal. She's going to be tried in front of the whole world, and she's going to get lethal injection. If all this is real.
That'll be the first live lethal injection.
And I think a large portion of the world would celebrate.
That'd be the most watched TV show ever in history.
Yep. Apparently, if all of
and
this...
CNN will not get it.
No. They're all going down, too. Good God. You should go look up Anderson Cooper. Go look up his fucking life. That dude was groomed for his position, man. His mom's like a fucking occult Wiccan witch. He's a Vanderbilt, if I'm not mistaken, Vanderbilt bloodline and money. I'm pretty sure he was... some of the photos of the Podesta art is of Anderson Cooper as a kid being groomed for this stuff. You can't make this up, man. Keep it in the family kind of shit. These people are from a young age just positioned to be fucking sociopaths. There's no other way. You can't take a real person that's normal and then just, make them be, fucked up and complicit. Isaac Cappy saw all this stuff. He talks about it. Go look it up.
Who?
Isaac Cappy.
Isaac Cappy.
He was an actor and a comedian. He really was on his way. He was really good friends with Seth Green, but he outs everybody. Seth Green was the one that invited him into the Hollywood's Illuminati. And it came with a fucking annual salary, and it came with some hush money, and it came with some things that you had to do and be aware of, and he turned it down and then exposed all of them. He turned around and just said, fuck it, you guys are all pedophiles, and just started naming names, and then he's dead.
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson. People thought he was fucking crazy 10 years ago. I think he was too powerful to kill off. But he talks about it. Hollywood is built...
What's he doing now?
Independent movies and probably just laying low. I don't know what he did, man. I don't know what...
No social media, no nothing.
No. Mel Gibson's like that uncle/dad that, if he was your uncle, he would, he'd be your favorite uncle. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
100%. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing.
But you would think he kind of has an idea of what's going on.
I think there's a lot of people in Hollywood that know what's going on, and I think a lot of people aren't going to say anything because they have kids and they have families, and they're not going to risk it. and they're gonna let justice either be served however it's about to be served, which is a process, which is a 4-fucking-year process, probably longer, or, I don't know. I think people will come out eventually, but even on whether Q's a psyop or not, the things that it's exposed are real, and that's what people need to understand. No matter what, things that the QAnon movement have talked about have come true. So you can't discredit it in that manner. Whether it's a psyop or not, I don't really fucking know.
Yeah.
But there is a post on there from apparently an A-lister in Hollywood saying, hey, I've had huge commercial success. I'm not going to give you my name, blah, blah, blah. But we've all done things, and a lot of us were tricked into it. I've even done things that I wasn't aware of until after the fact. And Kanye's a hero to a lot of us because he's trying to break it. He's trying to break out. But everything that's going on, everything that people are talking about, it's real. From Jenna Jameson to fucking Corey Feldman.
Yeah, she was trafficked, right? Or sexually assaulted as a child?
She was like groomed for it at a young age, apparently. And then, did you ever read Macaulay Culkin's interview in that French magazine that got... Good God. Did you read that?
I read snippets. It was just...
Long story short, when he was... And then this goes back to... Look at it. He's got his bunny podcast, Follow the White Fucking Rabbit, Adrenochrome. He talks about how on the set of Home Alone 2, they were filming, and he was fucking Macaulay Culkin. He was the hottest young actor in Hollywood. And he didn't name names, but he said the guy that was in charge of fucking, these movies came in to his dressing room, and he said after the first movie, he really learned how to pick out these fucking creeps. He knew who they were. He said he also learned over the years who they were by their shoes. Long story short, this guy wanted to fuck him or do something to him. And Macaulay Culkin kept reminding him, you do know I'm 11, right? And he said Hollywood made him grow up quick, but he learned, you know how smart he was in Home Alone? He was actually like that in real life, apparently. He was that sharp at that age.
Well, you got to be able to act that way.
Right. Long story short, the guy pretty much told him, we're going to cut your family out. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to act as your legal guardian. We're going to make you the biggest fucking thing that Hollywood's ever seen. You're going to have this, that, and the other. And who's the actress that... She was a huge actress in the 80s, and she died. Either way, Macaulay Culkin pretty much said the shoes that guy was wearing was the skin of that actress, and that she was murdered in a ritual sacrifice, which is what Hollywood does to these young kids that don't want to play ball. And so it was pretty creepy, and it aired, and it went all over the French fucking internet, and then it got taken down like 2 hours later. And then Macaulay Culkin shows up now, White Rabbit, starts his weird podcast, goes on Joe Rogan, and now is normalizing weird shit and cryptic messages. So I just find it interesting. You got all these people coming out of the woodworks, but you got to wonder, what happened to Macaulay Culkin in those in-between years? He got on drugs. He disappeared. He's still rich as shit. He makes $15 million a year off fucking Home Alone.
Did he ever do any more movies?
No, not really. I think he did a couple of other shit. He did Richie Rich and that, but I don't know what that timeline was.
When was his last movie?
I don't know. But then he just disappeared. Lived off those fucking royalty checks. But now he's shown back up. And he talks about how he's one of the few well-adjusted fucking kids that made it out of Hollywood alive. But hear what I just said. Made it out of Hollywood alive.
Yeah.
He's they feed on kids. And it goes back to what Mel Gibson said. So, I don't know. I remember, I haven't talked about this much, but I remember after I had done my first movie, and I was I fucking love this. I've been acting my whole life. I was I got to go pursue this. So I got invited by my first agent to go do IMTA, International Models and Talent Association. A bunch of fucking people have come out of that thing. Personally, it's a massive cattle call. And now, being on the other side of this, it is probably a massive place to exploit children. Like Josh Duhamel, Ashton Kutcher. I went the year Brianna Hildebrand, got famous from it. She's the chick in Deadpool, shaved head,
Yeah.
super talented, cool chick. But after that, I met my first manager, real manager, out in Los Angeles, Al Honorado. He founded the Casting Society of America. And I go out to Burbank, and we're at his pool. And he pretty much, he loved me. And he was a nice guy. But you don't become him and not know shit.
Yeah.
And by his poolside, he's like, look, you're handsome and you're funny, and that's rare. And you're young. He's like, are you gay? I was like, no. He's like, well, you ever thought about it? I was like, no, not really. Like, usually people know if they're gay.
Right.
And he's like, well, here's the thing. I got 3 shows that I could put you in tomorrow, but I think you need to be gay. And I was like, I don't really understand what you mean. Think I need to be gay. And it's just me and him out in Burbank poolside. And now that I look back, I was 24. Look back at that I'm pretty sure that dude was just trying to fucking figure out if I was going to be someone willing to probably suck his dick or something and go from there. But that's fucking Hollywood, dude. That shit's real. Talked to Al a couple more times. Motherfucker retired. Never really did anything with him. He never went to work for me, kind of thing. So that was one of the weirder conversations I've ever had with somebody. Real odd. Well, we can get you in these things. We just really need someone that's gay. I was like, what the fuck?
Now prove it.
Yeah. So weird shit, weird times. But that was one of those first experiences in Hollywood where I was like, okay.
So here's a question for you. 'Cause
sure.
You think a lot and you're pretty perspective. A guy like The Rock.
Yep.
Do you think he's clean, or do you think he's involved?
No one at that level's clean. No one. What that means, I don't know.
So
What that price is, I don't know.
Not necessarily a bad guy, but
Everyone's got a price. And whatever that price is, I don't know. But you just don't get commercial success for the sake of commercial success, because anybody can become famous. Anybody can become famous. It's all a matter of marketing. It's all a matter of who they're putting on screen. It's all a matter of, like, think about it. Kevin Hart is a genius, and he's brilliant. But they could have made 10 other guys Kevin Hart, if that makes sense.
yeah.
Like, yeah, there's Will Ferrell, and he's brilliant. But they could have made anybody Will Ferrell. Adam McKay was the writer. Most people don't know that. Like, Adam McKay wrote all those movies. So they could have made anybody Will Ferrell. And I don't think people think about shit like that. Why is it, just like politicians, how is it that Tom Hanks has been fucking Tom Hanks for so fucking long? Money? What was he willing to do? Like, he plays pretty much the same types of things. He's got the same fucking voice.
He's not even really that good.
It's amazing what a camera will do. So, yeah, I think everyone has a price. And no one's clean at that level. No one. I don't think some people are clean at the lower levels. But you don't. Hollywood studios, man, they don't give a fuck about people. They don't give a fuck about me. They will throw you to the wolves real quick. And so you got to be, yeah, you got to. I think it's a little bit of both. The Rock is The Rock. He's talented and he's smart. But he also almost didn't make it in this business. So what happened? What switched? What changed? Wasn't his fucking work ethic. It can't be your work ethic in Hollywood. There's no such thing. Like, I don't care how many fucking improv classes you go to, or Meisner Conservatory, or how much you worked on this or that. Like, it's not that. It doesn't exist. Like,
Yeah, and how is it that looks like he's gotten younger and in better shape?
well, I mean, there's a lot of shit you can put in your body.
But think about it. I mean, I know that, but like, it went with his acting career.
Yeah.
Like, the better looking and in shape he gets, the more successful he's becoming.
He's killed it.
I mean, he just bought the XFL.
I know. Which was also a smart move. So I don't know. I just know that nobody's clean at that level. Commercial success, like, huge. Because there is a difference in that and catching a break. I do believe in that. I think people catch breaks all the time. I think there is a level of, some things are just good enough. Some people are just talented enough. And because of that, they catch that break. But if you want to keep that going, what's that cost?
Yeah.
We've got a buddy of ours out in Texas, and he's got a docu-feature, kind of very similar to my life with Andrew, but just a little different.
Okay.
And he's made this movie, and he's been working on it for like 4 years, and he's about to get a huge payday in distribution. Why? His shit was good enough. It's great. It's a great fucking story. People will watch it. But it's things like that where it's like, it's not $15 million, but it's a good fucking chunk of money. And guess what? He worked his ass off, and it took some time and some patience, found the right fucking people, got a great deal. That shit happens all the time.
But how does he keep it up?
With something like that, you don't. That's the thing.
Unless they want you to.
Unless they want, and the type of shit that he's getting ready to put out, and then what he made, it's not what Hollywood wants. Not like on a large scale, but it's what these smaller independent organizations want to put out under their name, under their brand, with the relationships they have, because it's gonna, so it works on a micro level, on a small level, but you get into the Sonys and the bigger players, like, good luck.
Right.
Good fucking luck. So, but hey, dude, who am I? I'm just some dude in an abandoned fucking studio.
Right. It's crazy, though. It's a lot of good things to think about.
Or not.
I mean, a lot of people don't think about them.
Nope.
But they still freak out over the little things. Wearing a mask.
I haven't worn a mask at all during this.
So the only time I wear one is to walk into the sports barn.
Okay.
Because you have to.
Okay.
I've already had this argument with them. They didn't believe my asthma thing, so that didn't work. And I want to get into the sauna. It's the only reason why I go. So this morning, I walked in, and I forgot my mask. It was early. Person's front door said, "Hey, where's your mask at?" And I was like, "You're right. Keep this in mind. You only have to wear a mask to sign in.
That's it.
And then as soon as you sign in, you remove the mask, and you have full reign to the gym.
That makes no fucking sense.
You have to wear it in a 10-foot section. The door to check in, as soon as you check in, take mask off."
That's good. I like that.
So I already checked in. It was just habit, and they was like, "Where's the mask?" And I was like, and they was like, so I walked outside, grabbed my mask, walked in, just past it, and took it off. They go, "Thank you." I said, "What did that just do?"
Yeah.
I
It's all
think,
about
fucking
control,
morons,
I
dude.
think I just got more sick grabbing that mask that I haven't cleaned
I ain't worn a mask.
3 months.
But I've also haven't been a moron about it. Like, one of my favorite places to get meat in town, Fresh Market. Guess what? You had to wear a fucking mask for a while, so I didn't go.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Welcome to America. They're a fucking business. They have a right to do that.
Yeah.
And I guess what? I have a right not to wear a fucking mask. So fuck them. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Great. I went somewhere else.
Yeah. But you didn't bitch about it.
I didn't bitch about it. I just fucking went somewhere else.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes, that's my thing. Like, I don't agree with it, but I also don't agree with people shaming people for not wanting
Right.
to do it.
I love that though. That the age of and if no one's been watching Andrew Schultz, fucking go watch Andrew Schultz.
He's been crushing it.
Murdering Hollywood. I love it. But this whole cancel culture, I'm telling you, I don't give a shit. These fucking white female liberals, the age of that shit is going to go away fast in the next year.
Yeah.
Whether people believe this or not, there is going to be a moment where ideologies are going to be on the wrong side of history, and people are going to have to like recluse and regroup, because literally, Elon Musk said it. The left is losing the middle, and it's very, very fucking true.
And Elon's probably one of the smartest people in our country right now.
You should go watch this interview with him and Jack Ma, where Jack Ma pretty much exposes himself for being a moron, even though he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. It's so funny. He just doesn't know what he doesn't know. He's still a billionaire, but you can tell Elon Musk was like, "What the fuck's wrong with you? You're an idiot." It was great.
That's my next book, the Elon Musk book.
Mm.
We'll check it out. I think it'll be pretty good. Diving into Tesla and SpaceX and all that stuff.
That guy. Fuck.
Straight from Silicon Valley.
Spaceships, y'all.
I do find it odd. Like, I mean, I get it. It's money, but Elon Musk has aged well. Like, he looked rough in his early 20s.
He was losing hair.
That's another
early
thing.
on.
I mean, like, what is happening? Tom Cruise, The Rock,
Doesn't
Elon
age.
Musk. These guys are getting better looking.
Right.
Jeff Bezos.
Now, I know men, we age better. Like, I'm sorry, but me in my 40s, watch the fuck out, world. Like, I'm gonna be distinguisted, all right? But these guys actually just haven't aged. Keanu Reeves hasn't aged.
No, they're like reverse aging. Like literally, they're getting better features. I don't understand it.
Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
Josh Brolin, I like that guy.
Yeah.
He's fucking funny. He made a terrible post recently because it was about sex trafficking, and then he turned it into COVID. And I was like, man, shut the fuck up. That didn't make any sense.
Yeah. What movie was he in? I just watched here recently.
Deadpool.
No, he's great in that.
Endgame.
No, not. It's a more of a lower budget movie. Anyways, I've been watching a lot of movies. Sunday's movie day now.
Dude, I haven't been watching movies at all. Here's one of my favorite things I used to do. This is what's telling me the world's changing too. I used to, on probably a weekly basis, because I love acting. I love writing.
Yeah.
I love doing shit. This place has really taken it out of me just
Yeah.
because the people here suck.
Minus me.
Right, minus you and
Yeah,
Ethan.
right.
But mostly you.
Yeah.
But I used to literally just get lit. I would pregame and then go to a movie theater with a bar, drink more, and then go watch movies by myself. And you know what? I really miss that. I miss that a lot.
I've told Tia the one thing I miss throughout all of this is for us to go watch a movie on a Friday night or a Sunday morning. Get some popcorn, maybe get a Diet Coke. Hell, maybe get a real Coke. Maybe throw some peanuts in that popcorn.
Damn, bro.
Some peanut, like the M&M peanuts.
Yep.
Bro, as it's melting in the warm popcorn.
Everything
Throw a
that
little
just went
butter
on in
there.
my head was was it NSYNC or Backstreet Boys? Quit playing games with my heart.
Then guess what?
Yeah.
You get there early, matinee, and you watch that
Ooh.
first movie.
And then you
then you
cheat.
come out and you go,
Huh. Yeah.
I am going to go into that one.
Yep.
Then you might watch 3 movies.
I love it. I love waking up. Well, I used to. I loved waking up the next day and realizing you drank too much and you forgot part of that movie.
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe you need to go watch it again.
Right?
Yep.
Wasn't as good as I thought.
Yeah, those were the days, dude. This is just funny. Okay, one, I'm 7 months sober today.
That's fantastic.
Yep, going into month 8,
Congratulations. Yep.
crushing it. I've lost a lot of weight, feeling great,
Yeah.
sharp as fuck.
Yep.
But if this tells you anything about my love for movies and my love for alcohol, I was in Austin, Texas. This was the first year I moved there, and I couldn't come home that year. But all my friends at the time in that state or where I was fucking living, I didn't know them well enough to like go to any of their Christmases or whatever. So I celebrated Christmas by myself. And so for 2 days, I went and got pretty trashed. And I went and watched Les Mis, okay? And then I got real fucked up and went and watched Jack Reacher.
Oh, yeah?
And I fell asleep in that movie like a fucking loser, dude. And got woken up by one of the guys cleaning on Christmas. Oh, man, what a fucking memory,
the Tom
dude.
Cruise movie?
Yeah. just fucking trashed on Christmas alone watching Jack Reacher. Like, what? I was in my early 20s.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't even a 40-year-old, like, divorced loser. Like,
No.
that's what I chose to do.
Young stud.
Yeah, dude. Just fucking.
That's America right there.
My friends in Texas still make fun of me for that to this day.
It's great.
Yeah. Like, they'll send a group text to me every fucking holiday, be like, "Hey, Mac, just making sure you're okay. Don't kill yourself."
That's funny.
It's funny. It's funny.
That's good
But I
stuff.
miss movies.
Yeah.
I don't think we're ever gonna have them again. So,
You don't think so?
I mean, we will.
Walmart's gonna have drive-ins.
Oh God.
That's gonna be awful.
Yeah, I heard about that. The
That's
parking
the
lots.
only thing we're gonna get.
Can you imagine the trash that's gonna be there?
It's just gonna be bad.
Good God. I'm not gonna miss it. Fucking pajama wearing sluts
It's
with their
ridiculous.
fucking kids.
Ugh.
No regard for anyone else's experience there.
Right.
Yeah.
Kids are just gonna be running around in between cars.
You get back here.
Then
It's gonna be
I
bad.
want to say they're number 1 on the Fortune 500.
Walmart?
Yeah.
Wouldn't doubt it.
I think they're number 1, and then number 2 is Amazon.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, I don't want $1 billion.
I do.
I mean, I'd take it, but
I wouldn't say no.
yeah, I wouldn't say no.
I do a lot of things for it.
I also think that to become a billionaire is also not by accident.
Yeah, I mean, you would think.
I just don't think you become a billionaire by
I
accident.
think it's very likely to make many of millions of dollars the right way
100%.
in this system.
100%.
If you look at compound interest and just the stock market and being smart and saving your money, not spending it, and doing all the right things and just busting your ass and just working hard.
Yep.
You can still make like generational money to where like
100%.
you're paying for your grandkids,
Yep.
right? But then there's that money, dude, that it's just like how do you get there in a lifetime? And like the lifetimes have been 70 to 80 years old. It's increasing. Dude, I think right now people are about to live well past 100.
120, dude. That's what, if the world doesn't go to shit, we're all going to get really fucking old and see it.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, this is fascinating. So, one of our clients, we've got this big landscape job for him. This dude's weird as shit. Retired from the military, lives with his mother. They moved here from California. Makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Either way, he comes outside. He pays me in cash, which I don't understand, every single fucking time.
Right.
And he does it, like, discreetly, like we've done something wrong. And It's
Yeah.
really weird. The guy's quirky shit. Well, today he invited me into his house to show me his new Oculus VR setup.
Ooh.
And I was actually very interested. So I knew two things were going to happen. I'm about to get fucking Bates Motel by this dude and die,
Yeah.
or I'm about to see some cool shit. I saw some cool shit. I put on that new VR headset, completely pitch black. All right? The band that goes over your head, one, this thing's comfortable as fuck. But
Oh,
the
yeah.
band
100%.
is where the audio is.
Yep.
It was fascinating. It wasn't on your – you don't have anything on your ears.
So it's like surround sound audio.
Yes, and you feel things. So I'm sitting there, and you push these things on your hands, and he's like, all right, I'm going to turn everything on. And it turns on, and you're in this big white room, but it's got depth perception. And I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. This is cool. And he's like, all right, I'm going to show you some displays of stuff. I'm just going to let you go through the features. It's like, awesome. So he's like, just take a step forward for me. I took a step forward, and all of a sudden it's like you hit a wall, and all this stuff comes on, like, you're not allowed to go here. It's like, all right, that's cool. He's like, now I'm going to show you some, some basic graphics. So he puts me in the woods, and I felt like I was at, like, the Discovery Museum for kids, and it was cool enough. Like, if you were a kid, you would have been like, this is fucking awesome. Fucking fox and a moose and shit. You look up, and there's the sky, and there's a real cloud. Like, it was cool. And then he's like, all right, now let's turn on some real graphics. And I shit you not, the alien that was 4 feet in front of me was more real than you. And I was fucking baffled, dude. It was the coolest thing. And then it went to a scenario where I'm on top of this fucking building in, like, Gotham or something. And you look over that edge, you're looking over that fucking edge, man. And then he put me in this weird-ass, like, I don't know, rip-off Jurassic Park. That Tyrannosaurus Rex was huge. All of this was fucking awesome. And I'm sitting here thinking, in 10 years, 20 years, all of this will be more real than this. It was that good. And it's only 2020. So if the world doesn't go to shit, we're all just going to be we're all going to be in VR. And then he was telling me how they're making bodysuits that you can wear so that you can actually feel. And I was like, oh, man. Can you imagine that?
They have like vests that are basically just big subwoofers that whenever something happens around you, you feel it in your chest. So like if the T-Rex stomps in front of you, you feel it. Dude, they're so good. So fun.
Shit's getting weird, man.
Yeah.
That alien was fucking amazing because it was such it was so real. It was tangible almost. I couldn't understand what he was saying, but
I just finished Tony Robbins' Money Mastery. I think I talked about this last week.
I've got it. It's on my shelf.
So I finally finished it
'Kay.
yesterday. One of the parts of the book, he talks about 2045. And he goes, think about this. People are trying to learn how to invest, and I'm giving people this book because this is the most important book you're ever going to read. One, because most people are dying right now, at like 80. So, yeah, you're saving till you're 65 so that you can have 15 years of savings, right? So you can live your remaining 15 years and not be broke. Well, we're not going to be able to do that. We're going to have to, increase our savings or work longer until we're 100, because at age 45, he predicts that they're going to have technology that's going to be it's going to be like little bitty tiny robots that go in your bloodstream and just fix everything in your body. and we're just going to continue living. Like that's it, like we're just going to grow new tissues, and we're going to be able to tap into the stem cells that.
So we're just going to regenerate.
Yeah. So like when you're a baby, like up until 2 years old, say you lose a finger, there's cases where children grow their fingers back.
That's fucking awesome.
But that stops at about 2 years old.
Okay.
So how can you turn on your stem cells that we already have in our body that we're born with forever? So why can't we just keep regenerating? When that happens, that's going to be the next boom. And they're saying that's about 2045.
I'll be 76 years old. Wait. No.
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 That's 25 years.
I was thinking 45.
We're gonna be
I
50.
will be 56 years old.
We're going to be in our 50s.
Dude, 50's the new
But think about this.
now.
Yeah.
But think about this. Imagine never getting any older at that age.
Shit.
So we can still be in a pretty good spot.
Yeah. Dude.
I mean, Sylvester Stallone.
Just look what he did with HGH and some good pussy.
Right.
A lot.
He's still. I mean, yeah. He's got a.
Have you seen his wife?
He's got a metal neck. Have you seen his family?
Yeah, his daughters are gorgeous.
Just everyone.
Sophia, good
They're-
God.
I mean,
Like I look at them and I think my life is pointless.
yeah.
You know?
Like,
What have I done wrong, God?
yeah, and they just like talk to him like he's just another guy. Like,
Yeah.
you can tell he's just a really good guy.
Yeah.
You know,
Fucking sly, dude.
like a guy that made it.
Yeah.
He got his break, and then he just kept. I think if anybody's doing it the right way, he did it the right way.
He did it right.
Because it hits all his stuff.
Have you ever listened to him not selling out on Rocky?
About the Rocky movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he sold his dog.
Sold his dog, but he never sold out, and like
They wanted
Fucking-
somebody else to play Rocky, and
yep,
he said,
and he
"No,
stuck
I'm
to
sorry."
his guns.
Yeah.
Fucking love
He
it.
wrote that script in a day, 2 days.
Something like that, yeah. I think he was 34 or 35 when he made that movie. Think about that. I'm 30 fucking 1.
That-
I remind myself of this every goddamn day.
Yeah.
Dude, Chris, you're still young.
Yeah, dude.
Like you're still like the game hasn't even started. You're just positioning yourself to get walk through the door, maybe.
Listen, too many people our age are obsessed with wanting to be insta famous and
Right.
an influencer. All right, yeah, there's a bunch of those people out there, and they're going to make a little bit of money, and they have that little bit of fame, so they get that adrenaline rush of being, I'm important
Right.
because I have this many followers. And I fell for that trap for a little bit as well. I'm way past that trap because I know that trap's not the end game. What do those people actually know how to do other than take a picture of themselves or just sell out to get a couple followers? That's all fake. That's going to go away.
Yep.
TikTok, bye.
Yeah,
if
it's
they
about
say
to.
Instagram, bye. If they say Twitter, bye. If they say bye to social media, what's 1 million, 2 million, 10 million influencers going to do with 100,000 followers that nobody cares about?
Yep.
You go back to the real world. What can you actually do with yourself? Oh, nothing? Okay, bye. So now those people are at the bottom of the totem pole. Like, it's the people that are grinding every day, like you, like me. I mean,
Yeah.
like, it's those type people that are going to make it. If we can get to 50. If we can get to 50.
If we can get to 50.
If we can get to 50.
Dude.
Be in the best shapes of our life. Be in the best place ever financially.
Dude, everything I'm doing right now is because I've realized how fast life is going. Like it's long, but it's quick as shit. Everything I'm doing right now is it's no longer based on what I wanted 3, 4, 5 years ago, not even a year ago. I'm already thinking, all right, dude, where do you really want to be when you're fucking 40?
Yep.
Because certain passions will come and go. Certain
Yes.
directions will change. Like things that you wanted, you're not going to want anymore.
Yeah.
So what is it that you can do to position yourself on some things that I'm already working on, because I know it's going to take 9 years to put me in a position to pursue. Hear what I'm saying? It's going to take me the next 9 years to put me in a position to then pursue those things.
Yeah.
And most people aren't thinking like that.
You are what you've done the past 1,000 days. Tell me what you've done the past 1,000 days. And that's exactly why and who you are right now.
A
So,
goddamn sex machine.
so
Ethan.
what are you going to do for the next 1,000 days to be that person that you want to be?
Build an ark.
But I mean, that's
whoa, man. Whoa.
that's really where we're at, though. Like,
Yep.
people want to think about tomorrow and get rich quick and how do I
Doesn't
lose
exist.
20 pounds in a week, like that
Yep.
type of stuff. Like, why don't you just have a perfect day 1,000 days in a row,
Yep.
and then go, oh, that's how success happens.
Dude, it's fascinating to me. I get why people can lose everything and start over easily, quickly. It's because most likely those people are 20 years older than what we are now, maybe 10, 15, and they can do it because they know how. So I'm over here looking at, okay, so I pivoted and went into a completely different niche and field. One, because of barrier of entry. Two, because of the market share. And three, out of necessity. But I already knew how to do everything except the execution of the actual doing of the business.
Yeah.
Hear what I just said. I knew how to do everything except the fucking cutting of the grass on a machine, which I knew wasn't hard.
Yeah.
So I pretty much did everything I've done here and applied it to a completely different business in a completely different industry. And in 4 months, it's been more successful than this whole place has in 3 years.
Yeah.
So now I'm starting to see there's money everywhere, systems, processes, barrier of entries. Like,
You make a great point, because that brings me to exactly why I said, I started in logistics in 2014, right? It took me 6 years to become passionate about
sales.
selling,
Yeah.
right? Something that I've always thought that I was going to be good at, because I just thought that I was going to be good at it, because that's what I wanted to be
Yeah.
good at, right? And I just figured I've been good at everything else. I'm just going to be good at sales.
Yep.
Well, guess what, dude? You've been busting your ass for 20 plus years at everything else that you've been good at. And you weren't you were good, but like you weren't the absolute best at those things, but you were good.
Yep.
So you got to have that same passion towards sales. So that really picked up about a year ago. And it really clicked with me this year. Well, what's happening? Booming.
Selling your
Things
dick
are taking
off,
off.
bro.
But guess what? You got to do it every day.
Yep.
Like there's no day off. Like what's a weekend? A weekend is just for a normal person to be a little bitch.
Yep.
Like, and I've been that person my entire life.
People keep telling me lately, because I know how to work. I know how to run myself fucking ragged. And people keep telling me, McNelly, you got to take a break. You got to take time for yourself. You got to, and I'm sitting here thinking, the world's about to go to shit, or the transfer of wealth's coming. And I'm about to get rich as fuck, and then I'm going to take a break by making more money.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I'm the reason the economy is still going right now. Hear what I just said. People like me.
Yeah.
That's not to toot my own horn.
No.
It's a reality. People are working. People are getting paid on tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here realizing, like, all right, this is what's making the world go round.
Yeah.
Fucking small business owners.
Yeah.
Fuck. And we're all about to go out of business, just like songbirds.
They're trying.
Yeah, dude. They're fucking trying.
They're trying.
That'll be a tough day.
Ethan, has this been 45 minutes yet?
Hour and 45.
Oh, it's hour and 30.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic. All right.
Dude,
Well,
this podcast sucked.
dude, these are always so much fun. You always keep talking about you need to do a podcast. I think we just need to do our podcast and just market it with both of us.
I'm fine with that. We're just going to have to change the name.
We got to figure something out.
Yep.
Maybe-
I'm fine with that.
I was talking earlier. I was like, how do me and you work together?
Huh. Maybe it's the podcast.
Maybe it's the podcast.
I like that. Dun, dun, dun.
Without Sting, for sure.
No. Yeah. He's the worst. He's got 6 kids to take care of, so
Yeah.
he made his choices. Hey, life advice for all you young kids out there. Don't get married until you're 35. Don't have a kid ever.
But
just
if you do,
just do those.
but if you do
Just
have
do
a
those
kid,
two things.
if you
Yep.
do have a kid, take care of it
Yeah, take care of that kid.
and lead that kid and don't be a piece of shit.
Yep. Ooh. Okay. So here's one more thing before you go, because I want people to think, and I also want people to be upset.
All right, last thing from Chris.
Think about this, okay? So if you look at systematic racism, all right, you think about how those things were implemented, okay, from post-civil rights movement, from incarcerations to breaking up the family, you name it. Think about the subsidies and the benefits of single mothers in the black community, but then also think about this, because Kanye talked about it, but I don't think people think about the implications of it. What is it, Ethan? Like 22 million babies have been aborted in the black community in the last,
20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
22 million black voices that we don't get to hear. 22 million black leaders that community no longer has. 22 million black Americans influencing culture, politics, the world. Think about that, motherfuckers. It's bigger than your fucking women's rights movement. It's bigger than systematic racism. It is controlling fucking people.
And that, my friends, was episode 32 of Chat with Gunner. Perfect way to segue out of here. All right, guys. Thanks, Chris, for coming on yet again. Guys, go over to YouTube, because it will be up on YouTube, because Ethan does his job because he loves me for some reason. I will get everything up on Spotify and Apple Podcasts tomorrow. That's a promise. So this will be up. You'll be hearing this Friday, August the 8th, 9th. What's the day?
Today is the 6th.
On August 7th, you'll be hearing this via Apple Podcasts and Spotify and your other podcasting platforms. So, hey guys, listen to some of this. You know, decide what you want to listen to and decide what you don't. But go do some research. I'll just tell you that. Go do some research and figure out where that research is coming from. And then, you know, just make good decisions. Make better decisions. And create some goals. But, you know, I wanted to talk about goals today, but we got off from conspiracies. Just create some goals. If you don't have goals, will you please create some? Because if you don't have any goals, I would just like for you to stop listening to this show. That'd be great. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Peace.